if you can find what is your passion, if you find what you love, you never get tired. And so you know what if you're doing the right thing, if it feels like it's right. And you know it's right because you would do it for nothing. You would do it for nothing and find a way to be able just to do it in order to be able to continue. That's how you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Welcome to the Kings and Queens podcast, where we enter the minds of leaders with a vision and learn why greatness truly resides within each and every single one of us. Recognizing the kings and queens of the world one voice at a time, here's your host, King Lapo.
What is up, Kings and Queens family? This is your host, King Lapo, in the building. I hope you all are living well and are having a blessed, tremendous day. In this episode, we have a special guest who's a 2020 WNBA Draftee for the Minnesota Lynx. She's also on a quest to embark on a journey as a medical student, which we'll dive deeper into throughout this podcast. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome the amazingly talented Erica Ogwumike. Hey, how you doing, Erica?
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Queens family. I'm excited to be here.
How's it feel to be on the Kings and Queens podcast?
Feels amazing.
Hey, thank you. So Kings and Queens family, they're glad to have you on. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well, just trying to stay inside still, active, busy, but of course still safe.
Most definitely. I know we're currently living in some crazy times right now due to Corona and everything, but I hope you're staying safe as well as your family.
Yeah, of course. I'm fortunate that it's been kind of boring, You don't want a lot of excitement right now, which is good. So, I'm just blessed.
That's good. So what we like to do here on the Kings and Queens podcast is to introduce you to the family. So for those who may not know who you are, just go ahead and give them a general background on, where you're from, born and raised and everything.
Okay, so, hey, y'all. I'm Erica Ogwumike. I am Nigerian American. All right. Born in Tomball, Texas, which is like a little outside of Houston.
Okay.
But I've pretty much been in Houston my whole life. I'm the youngest of four girls. I went to Rice University for my undergrad. However, I started at Pepperdine University and transferred to Rice. And then, now I'm here. I play basketball. I was a student athlete at Rice for the past 4 years. And now I'm in the WNBA. And then I also have been accepted to medical school. Wow,
that's crazy. Okay, so first, let's start how you found the love for basketball. Like, how did that come about?
It's not going to sound very movie-like or pretty, to be honest.
No problem at all.
We pretty much just got too big for gymnastics. My older sisters, they personally got too big. So they're like, the swinging bars, their feet were touching the ground. So they're like, hey, this is not the sport for y'all. I'm sorry.
Wow.
So I was like, dang. So one of my mom's coworkers just told them about this random basketball league. So my sisters did it. And, just kind of through osmosis, like I was in the gym as a little girl, just, pretending to be a cheerleader while my sisters were playing. Mm-hmm. So eventually my mom was like, do you want to just try it? So I tried it. And I learned that I liked it. I kind of just like basketball because you really have to be in shape in all aspects with basketball, It's
Definitely.
Like almost CrossFit. You're shuffling, you're jumping, you're, having contact, you're having to sprint. So like, I really just enjoyed that aspect of it. And of course, just the teamwork aspect as well, I think was really fun. And so it just kind of was a gradual thing, maybe starting in like 6th grade. I really got into it. Yeah.
Wow.
Just went from there.
So you said you transferred from Pepperdine University to Rice University. What was your reason behind that?
Yeah, so my older sister, my third sister, she was at Pepperdine already playing basketball there. So, of course, I wanted to be with her. So that was a main reason I went there. But, of course, it was a great school. But I decided after a year that I wanted to, one, come closer to home just because. And then also I kind of knew I wanted to be pre-med. So Rice is literally across the street from the Texas Medical Center, which is the biggest medical center in the world.
Wow.
So it was like super opportunistic to go home. And then I wanted to compete like in a pretty competitive conference for basketball wise. I wanted to win games,
Definitely.
So I chose to go to Rice, and it kind of worked out really well for me.
Okay. And for the Kings and Queens fam who may not know, what position do you play?
I'm a shooting guard, or like just a guard pretty much.
Okay. And your major while you were at Rice University was pre-med, correct?
Pre-med, it's not really a major. It was just like prerequisite courses you had to take in order to go to medical school. So my official major was health sciences, policy studies, and Spanish. And then I took the pre-med classes I needed.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So you currently have two older sisters who play for the LA Sparks. So could you, go into that a little bit on, how is it having, two older sisters who are in the WNBA? And how has that inspired you to also, pursue the same career?
I mean, it's great. They're literally role models that I've done pretty much everything I want to do in my life. So it's like almost a cheat code. So it's been nice to just have them as support, but then also just as mentors, as I embark on this WNBA journey as well. They've been, just great at answering questions and making it a pretty smooth transition. Because honestly, it's a big jump from college basketball to professional basketball, but I feel well prepared in a way because I've been able to watch them for the past like 6 to 8 years doing it now. It's been nice. I think it provides like an extra confidence because, preparation is preparation allows for confidence as well.
Most definitely.
I definitely feel confident whenever I'm allowed to go to training camp for the Minnesota Lynx because I've kind of been able to experience it in a weird way.
Okay. Yeah. And then also your other sister, she was actually your teammate in Rice University, correct?
Yes.
So how is that playing with your sister? How is that? Is there more of a connection in terms of other teammates and you guys are going back, home and your parents also know you guys are playing on the same team? How is that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think part of the joy that I had with basketball is the fact that I was able to play with my sister. I mean, it's just like our sisterhood bond grew even more. And then, of course, you do have that, people call it sister telepathy, that you wouldn't really have with a regular teammate because you know each other so well. Because basketball is way more than just physical. It's also a mental thing too. So it was great to be able to play with her and be her teammate for the past 4 years.
Okay, great. So you talked about in terms of your mental state, what kind of mentality do you think somebody needs to have in order to, pursue anything at a high level? I feel like there's a certain kind of mental aptitude that you need to have in order to, be successful in it. Talk on that a little bit. I
mean, first off, you got to want to be a lifelong learner. You can't be complacent with wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, because somebody next to you is going to be a lifelong learner, and it's going to look embarrassing on your part, to be frank. But also, you just have to be like a really good time manager and just a good person that's able to balance a lot of your passions and pursuits, because you can't always give 100% in just one thing because you need breaks, and it shows when you don't have breaks too. Yeah. So I would say that's important. And of course, I think a really, really big one is just, unless you choose a job where you absolutely don't have to talk to anybody, being a great team player and being able to communicate with people who all communicate differently is something that's super important. And I think it is key as well.
Definitely. Would you say you had a leadership, or everybody has a leadership position while you're playing basketball, or is it kind of a one person who's kind of like the forefront of being that leader for the team?
Yeah, I think I had a leadership position. I was the only senior in this past season, so I definitely would have called myself the captain, and I had to definitely lead by example. But not just that, I also had to physically lead. I had 5 freshmen on my team, so I was very uncomfortable this past year because I had to do things out of my nature. I wanted to just leave after practice, but I knew it'd be better if I tried to uplift my teammates, by, hey, let's shoot together on the gun, or let's do X, Y, and Z together, because I knew it wouldn't just make them better, but it would make the entire team better, and it was what needed to be done. So I definitely had a bit more of a leadership role this past year, which was great. I think it challenged me, and it kind of made all the wins and accolades even more special because it was uncomfortable and it was hard this past year for me too.
Wow. Yeah. So in terms of the wins, how you just stated, I know you were 2020 women's basketball champions back-to-back at Rice University, correct?
Yeah.
So how did you guys how were you able to, get yourself to a place to where you guys were, championship contenders? What kind of things did you have to do day in and day out in order to, make sure you guys stayed on the right track in order to achieve that goal?
Yeah, I mean, we had the one just trust the process. Like going to a school like Rice, you're gonna have ups and downs just because we're competing and trying to play against these huge schools that have had like histories of, just winning and just excellence. And we are trying to become like that too. So, you had to have really good failure recovery, but at the end of the day, you also just had to, just have good core values, which our whole program had good core values, and we all had a standard that we wanted to reach. And I think that's super important whenever you want to become a championship team.
Wow. That's very well said. Okay.
Thanks.
So growing up in a Nigerian household, I know you probably get this asked a lot, but growing up in a Nigerian household, how were there any pushbacks of you wanting to pursue a career in basketball?
Actually, yeah. I understand that question completely, but I've been blessed to have parents who have just been super supportive in whatever endeavors we attempt to pursue. Yeah. Whether that's sports, medicine, my sister's also a ESPN NBA analyst. So like we do a lot of unorthodox things that aren't the conventional, Nigerian occupations, or in the conventional way. And my parents have just been supportive. And I think that's why we've been able to be so excellent at what we do, because we've had that support that maybe not all Nigerian kids feel that they have. So, yeah. I mean, my parents have been great in that, and they've supported us the whole way, and they've definitely, of course, been a voice of reason at times when we could be a little out of pocket, but but they've been great. So yeah, I didn't have that problem, and I think it's been great that I didn't.
That's great, and I also feel probably since your two sisters who are currently in the WNBA, Chene and Nneka, they were probably kind of made it a little bit easier for your parents to accept you going to the WNBA as well.
Oh yeah, for sure, that helps.
So you wanted to pursue a career path in medicine, and you want to would you want to become a surgeon? What kind of doctor do you want to become?
I actually still don't know. That's a really great question. I don't really know what type of doctor. I've shadowed a lot of doctors, but I don't know what type of doctor I want to be. Okay. But they say a lot of people don't know when they go into med school. So I'm keeping my options open. Yeah. And, like I said, I haven't had anyone in my family do anything medically related. So it's like a shot in the dark for me.
Wow, you'll be the first.
I'm the first, crazy. The Nigerian. Nobody's done it. Yeah. But, so I'm just everything, applying to med school was foreign to all of us. My family was cheering when I got secondary applications, when they didn't realize that secondary applications were automatic. Every single person got it. So they thought I got accepted or something. So that's how you can tell they don't know what's happening either. But yeah, I don't really know what specialty, but I do know pretty much that, of course, I do want to go to medical school at some point, because I've shadowed a lot of doctors, and I kind of know that's what I want to do.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So I just want to touch base on this topic. I know a lot of people who have big goals, or they might want to be WNBA, NBA, or medical school, engineer, lawyer, whatever it is. Why do you think people have the fear of pursuing their goals or dreams?
Yeah, I feel like part of it is just a big part to me, honestly, is that especially like us, you don't see it that much. Like visualization's super important, and like when I scrolled through a website at a medical school and I didn't see someone that looked like me, talked like me, it makes it harder to actually know that you can do it because you haven't seen anyone similar to you do it. So I think that's one thing, and then of course nobody wants to fail. So it's very easy to do something that is safe, that that you can do. But I think we just all need to push ourselves to achieve, better. Definitely. Or to achieve what you're worth, So I think those would be two big hindrances that I've noticed, and I felt them too myself.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so during your time in pursuing, everything that you're doing right now, what are some obstacles that you've come across along the way that may have kind of hindered you, or were there any big obstacles for you?
I mean, I would say in the pre-med path as a student athlete, it was definitely hard to find a balance of excelling at both. There'd be times my coach would see me in practice and be like, "You must have a test this week, huh?" Because I was just not there, you know. I was not doing well. And then there'd be times, you know, in class I'm chilling, you know, maybe looking at my phone when I shouldn't because I had a big game that week. So like I wasn't even trying to think about school. And I had to find a balance of both because it wasn't going to work out well. You know, you were going to take L's in some category if you had it like that. So that was hard, I would say. It was an obstacle that for sure was conquered, but it was still an obstacle. And of course, growing up in a time where I'm the youngest of 4 girls, especially very successful older sisters, it was never a detriment to me, but it was definitely easy for people to associate myself with them and what they're doing. And, you know, I'm shorter than them. Wasn't recruited as highly as they were. They were all Americans in high school. That kind of made it hard, but at the same time, social media wasn't too big back then, so nobody was talking too much.
Not too much hate.
So I would just go home, and my parents never talked about it. My sister never talked about it, so we were good. But when I look back in actuality now, like, it's pretty awesome that I've been able to find my own identity, even while doing a similar path to them. So.
Do you get any criticism in terms of your height not being as tall as your sisters?
I would say not that much, just because basketball's many positions. So it hasn't been too bad, but also maybe a little bit just because, you know, in the pro level, the height is taller. So I think a lot of people are wondering how my game will translate as a pro. But it hasn't been too bad because of my height. The only people that give me grief are my sisters. Yeah.
You ever play, pickup games with them?
No.
No? She said no.
No.
Why not?
If we're all this is the longest we've all been together since, like, we all weren't in college or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we all are together nowadays, it probably means it's a vacation or we're chilling. So you're not really going to see us playing a sport together.
I see. Yeah. That's kind of crazy though. Is it like how the pandemic has kind of made everybody, you know, in terms of family, is everyone's just like close together, back with their family, spending more time with their family and everything.
Oh yeah, my mom is through the roof. She loves it. She loves it. It's like the first time all her girls have been around.
Her baby girls are back home. 10
years. Yeah, she loves it.
Wow. Honestly. So you enjoying some homemade Nigerian dishes?
Oh yeah, 100%. I can't. You don't hear me complaining.
What would you say? What would you say is your favorite Nigerian dish?
I mean, I would say probably just, you know, good old rice and stew.
The staple rice and stew.
The staple. There's something about just white rice that just hits.
It just hits. Yeah, it hits differently. It
just hits different.
Anybody who's tuning in right now, if you don't know rice and stew, you go ahead and find you a Nigerian friend, and please, they'll bless you.
You won't regret it.
All right. So, going back into you being drafted, just walk us through the moment when you found out that this was happening. And because I know you posted a little clip on IG, and I believe it's on your YouTube channel as well. Go ahead and walk us through that. How was that?
Yeah, well, for one, it was a virtual draft, so I was in my living room.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah, different, but it was still cool. I mean, with the draft, the top 10 picks kind of knew where they were because I think they had like ESPN cameras at their house. But like me being a 3rd round pick, I didn't really know what was going to happen. So we were just sitting watching the TV, and we had to look for the names on the bottom of the screen because they weren't showing them all on TV. So we just looked, and I was like, the 26th pick, and they said my name, and I was like, what the heck? And so we all just started jumping and screaming.
Wow.
And it was awesome. And then literally 10 seconds later, the analyst was like, oh, word is that she just got traded to the Minnesota Lynx. Yeah, I don't think he said word is, but something like that. So yeah, I was the first trade in the entire draft. I was like, what?
Wow.
So like we were still lit, but it was just so shocking. So that was cool. And then I was kind of in shock for the rest of the night. My sister wanted to like get all this footage because she's of course an ESPN analyst, so she's like always ready for like moments like this. You know, she's like, "Let's go on IG Live." Like she's always ready, which is great. You need someone like that. But me, like my jaw was like stuck. I was still just like in shock that it happened because it was a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
So like I told people that like, don't try to judge my face when you watch the YouTube video because I couldn't control my face, you know. Just know I was happy. So that's pretty much how the night went, and it was cool.
Wow. Okay. And your parents, they're with you in the video as well, I believe, right?
Yep, they're there.
Wow. Okay. And so you going through, you know, being NBA draftee, WNBA draftee, excuse me, and if you were to, I know you probably get this question a lot. If you were to choose between you becoming, you know, a professional WNBA player or, you know, a doctor, which one would you choose?
I can't really answer that, to be honest, because they're just both passions of mine that I really like both, to be honest.
Okay.
And I don't think I have to choose because, you know,
You can do both.
there's a lot of time in your life. So I know I'll be able to accomplish both. The time period, I don't know, but I know I will accomplish both. So I don't really have to choose because I don't think in any lifetime I would choose, if that makes sense. You know,
I like that because I know a lot of people, they believe they have a passion for, you know, two things. They always have to see if they need to choose one or the other. But like you said, we also have a lot of, you know, time to, you know, do different things in our lifetime. And, you know, pursuing different things is definitely something that you can do as an option, and you don't have to necessarily choose one or the other.
Yeah, I don't plan on choosing.
That's good. That's good. So the next thing I'm pretty sure the Kings and Queens family are interested in hearing is you know, the unity that you guys display as a family. I believe, you know, honestly inspiring. You know, you're inspiring a lot of women to pursue their dreams and their goals. And I feel like you guys are, you know, creating a legacy, and in some aspects you could compare it to the Ball family. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Like the Ball family is an awesome family, you know. Their brotherhood is tight and they're amazing hoopers too. And I mean, they're using their platform as well. I know the dad is, which is funny. Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. So, I mean, anything that a family's doing together, I'm always there for and supporting. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping just like, even if it isn't the sisterhood or family part, just seeing all my sisters and everything we're doing, not just basketball, but using our platform in other ways. I just hope it inspires people to know that like you never have to hinder one passion for another. But at the same time, like, don't be afraid to pursue a career that is unorthodox for a female or for, you know, just like anyone. So I do hope that we are some form of visualization or representation for the upcoming generation, and whether that's like a group of sisters or just, you know, just anyone. It's awesome to know that people are watching us and aspire to do similar things.
Okay. Yeah. Would you say that your family is quite in the limelight of, you know, just in terms of, you said that, you know, social media, they can take certain things, you know, in a different way if whatever is being said, since you are so, you know, up there in the light of sports in general. How is that in terms of if you know, were to have an interview with ESPN or anything? Is it something that you have to kind of like be careful on like what you say, or you're not really worried about that?
Yeah, I mean, there is a respect and kind of like a reputation. I want to still be known as someone that's like, you know, reputable, you know, so I have manners, and of course my mom taught me well, so I'm never going to say anything outlandish or out of pocket. But at the same time, I think with social media, I think I'm personally aspiring to use my digital footprint in a more unorthodox way, because I know a lot of athletes post mainly about sports, or a lot of physicians or med students keep it mainly about medicine. And I kind of want to be a bit more transparent about my personality. So I think I do have to have a balance of, yes, maintaining my respect and, you know, my just like manners while I am talking talking on ESPN or wherever, whichever platform. But at the same time, I do want people to be able to see me for who I am.
Yeah.
So, I try to keep my personality out there a little bit. I don't want to be a square.
She said square.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. Who are your role models right now? If you have any, who would you say are your role models?
I'll be cliche and say my parents.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, both my parents, just their endless support is ridiculous throughout my whole life while still, doing their own professions. My dad is a manufacturing engineer and he's had to travel a lot while we were young, but he still was very much so present at almost every game.
Wow.
And then my mom it's literally the epitome of Drake's Start from the Bottom, Now We're Here. Like, yeah, like she was a special education teacher, then a teacher, then a principal, and now she's assistant superintendent of our entire school district.
Whoa.
So like, yeah, she just got her PhD in December.
Jeez, congrats.
Yeah, I know. She's just, amazing. And she's done all that while taking care of us. So they're both just like great examples of just working hard and like still being motivated throughout your life, never being complacent. So yeah, I would say them for sure.
You think it's safe to say that you have to be a continuous student of life in terms of always having to learn, always having to improve yourself on a daily basis, like making sure you're better yesterday than you were today?
I wouldn't say you have to, but I would say if you were, it makes life so much more enjoyable, and like I feel like you can accomplish so much more if you are that type of lifelong learner. Just because there's so much out in the world, that there is to learn. So why wouldn't you want to learn more about it?
True.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. And why? I don't know if we touched on it, but why did you want to pursue med school?
Honestly, this is another question with another answer that's not really that glamorous. I know a lot of people like have stories of like their parents being physicians, some sort of illness, but I didn't really have that type of story. Initially, I didn't want to be behind academically when I went to Pepperdine, so they said, "What do you want to be?" And I was like, "I guess I'll take general chemistry and be pre-med just to do it."
Yeah.
So I took Gen Chem, and I just liked that type of class. Like, I like the way you have to learn and think. I like the balance of like qualitative and quantitative in it. So like, it just kind of worked out for me. So academically, I knew I was capable. And then I think when I came to Rice, I was able to go to the Texas Medical Center and shadow physicians. And I saw just like the teamwork they had to do together. Like they were working with like nurses, PTs. And then I saw the time management, the communication, the leadership. And I was like, whoa, this is literally one big basketball practice. That's what I thought in my head. I was like, I do this every day. And it's awesome in a different way. So it's like the subjects I like to learn, but then still the team aspect of it. And I was like, this is crazy. And then once you start getting more complex and seeing each patient that's different and how a physician should have cultural competency and humility, to like keep their patients like aware, but also respected. And I love to learn about cultures. I was like, this is for me 100%.
Wow.
So that's it was a gradual thing that I kind of just, was taking small mental notes over time, but I came to a conclusion and I knew I kind of wanted to do this career path someday.
What kind of time management would you say somebody needs to have, anybody listening in right now, to be able to, pursue an athletic, career and also focus on your studies as well? Like, is that something that obviously is difficult, but, what kind of, I guess, tips or advice would you give to anybody?
Yeah, I would say one very specific random tip I always said, maybe just because I'm different, but I would say do as much work in the daylight as you can. I know people like to be night owls, pull all-nighters, but as a student athlete, that's literally impossible and it's not good for your health. So I would always try to do work, in between small breaks, whether that's, okay, I had class in the morning and I have lunch now. Let me do something for an hour and a half before practice, So that actually adds up and it helps. But also I would say in a very unorthodox way, time management wise, you need to allocate time to have free time too, or that's when your time management will go nuts if you don't allocate your time for yourself as well, because then you feel like you don't have it, and then you can't effectively work when you need to work, if that makes sense. So that's something that I made sure that I did as well.
Okay. So definitely you would say, anyone who's, pulling all-nighters, that's not a go-to. It definitely gets some sleep.
It's not for me, but I also haven't tried one, and I don't think I physically can do one.
Wow,
so I think it's a mixture of my personality, but at the same time, I just think in general, you should try to get work. You need sleep.
Like, it is important though.
There's science behind that sleep is important. So I'll say that for sure. You should be pulling all-nighters every night at least.
Definitely. So another question I know Kings and Queens fan might want to know. Have you met any big celebrities in the game?
I mean, I lived in Malibu, California for a year. Yes, I did.
Who are some you can, or who's one you could, top of your head right now?
I mean, I don't know. Only person I'm thinking of right now is Boris Kojo, which is very random.
Okay. And what about in the WNBA or NBA?
I mean, those are my sister's teammates. So
true.
Yeah. I mean, I've met multiple NBA players. I'm now in a weird age where I'm friends with a lot of NBA players, which is cool because like my friends have made it to the NBA, so it's hard to call them celebrities now because a lot of them are my age group and I've known them like through college or just like through AAU and stuff. So it's weird to say that
title is celebrities,
because I've known them before.
I see. That makes sense. So another thing I want to touch on was the passing of Kobe and Gianna Bryant. Rest in peace to them, and condolences to the Bryant family as well. But how much was Kobe Bryant an inspiration to you in terms of just maybe his work mentality, that Black Mamba mentality he always speaks of, or just his how he transcended the game? Yeah,
I mean, I didn't grow up watching basketball that much, but of course I knew who Kobe Bryant was. Who didn't know who Kobe Bryant was? But I was fortunate that while my sisters were on the Sparks, Kobe and his daughter Gigi came to a lot of games. So I've been in the room with them multiple times, and I mean, he just has this aura that like is one to none, but it's also very, what's the word? It's very like personable. While he's still this amazing Hall of Fame celebrity. But what I would say about, Gigi first was going to just be an awesome, testament to women's basketball. And
most definitely.
She was going to go to the WNBA, and she was just, her smile was just amazing. And their daughter's father relationship was just very beautiful to watch. And she was just a super great kid. I didn't personally get to meet her, but I of course, she was at a lot of the games too, and she just was excited. She met my sister.
Wow.
My sister has a picture with her. It was like at WNBA All-Star. She was high-fiving my sister, and so was Kobe, and they were just talking. And,
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was in February. It was I don't know when WNBA All-Star was. It was last summer. Yeah, it was last summer. So yeah, and so she has a great picture that I'm happy my sister has to keep in remembrance of them. But Kobe specifically, I mean, I knew his Mamba mentality. We would have a lot of basketball workshops and learn about that. And that was just on another level. So just learning just different types of players and how he competed like that definitely helped my game, I would say, just to have that competitive edge. I mean, I was nowhere near that type of mentality, but just knowing that he had that limit on him allowed me to strive for more. But something that I think a lot of people are learning now is that his belief in the women's game, he came to so many women's basketball games, UConn women's basketball, Oregon women's basketball games, and of course WNBA games, and he was invested. He would talk to all the players. His daughter, of course, was interested in it, and he also was interested in the women's game. He had coached his daughter's AAU team. So I think he was really going to make strides in the women's basketball realm. And it's awesome that I was able to witness that a bit. And yeah, I think a lot of us are definitely playing for him throughout the rest of our basketball careers.
Wow. Yeah, I like that, because I know in terms of the WNBA, a lot of people might not. There's always comparisons, NBA, WNBA.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should also, be treated, equally, because you guys are putting hard work on the court, on and off the court. No one else should be, held at a higher standard compared to, someone else, just because it's a women's sport, or women's, just because it's women's NBA, it shouldn't make a difference to the NBA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I believe just you talking on that, and also the career that you're pursuing, also kind of speaks on that, and allows people to listen to your story, and also hear, okay, like, this is where Erica came from, this is what she's doing now. Like, it's possible. Like, it's not nothing that's not achievable,
Yeah, of course.
So do you have any future goals in mind that you could, see yourself doing, 5-10 years from now?
I mean, of course, I want to play in the WNBA. I want to compete at the highest level. So I do see that, like, having that type of history. But I mean, 5-10 years from now, there's a possibility I could be in med school. I could already be a physician as well. And if I am a physician, I mean, I definitely want to just have a super open and respected practice where, like, my patients feel autonomous, and also just like that they can talk to me. I don't really know where that would be. I don't really know what specialty it will be, but I kind of just know the vibe of it. And yeah, I mean, hopefully married.
Amen.
Yeah, my mom's hoping like tomorrow, but we'll see. So yeah, a lot of goals for sure.
That's good. All right. So that's pretty much all I have for you today, Erica. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the Kings of Queens podcast. And if you could leave with one piece of advice for the Kings of Queens fan, what would it be?
You're gonna put me on the spot like that. I would say, I mean, I've kind of said it a lot throughout this podcast, but don't hinder one passion to cater to another. Excel at both, do it all, and give 100% in what you do. Because if you don't give 100% in what you do, why are you doing it? So that's what I would say.
Sheesh. Okay. With the gems.
Yeah,
with the gems.
Came with the smoke.
Okay, with the smoke at the end. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so what platforms can the Kings of Queens find you on?
Yeah, I'm on the triple, all the three platforms of Twitter, which is, my name is Ogwumike13, OGWUMI13. I'm on Instagram. It's just my name, Erica Ogwumike, and I have a YouTube channel. It's called Life with Erica.
Make sure y'all subscribe.
Yeah, I had a TikTok, but I put it on private.
Wait, why'd you put the TikTok on private?
Just because I felt uncomfortable, random people being able to come see my TikTok. That's the one platform I don't think I can go public on.
TikTok kind of is, I guess you could like Snapchat a little bit. Snapchat, you got like your private people.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't like the TikTok after a week. So I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable people seeing. So yeah, I'm on private. But if you do request me, I will accept you.
Okay.
Maybe.
Did you do the TikTok, the dance, the new Drake song?
Which one? The Tootsie Slide?
Yeah.
Of course.
Did you like that song?
It's Drake, so it's good. But
yeah, Drake. He makes bangers every time.
Every time.
I don't know if it's as good as the Kiki challenge one, but I can see a lot of people doing
I didn't
it.
even do that challenge. There was no TikTok when that challenge happened.
Yeah, true.
People were doing that one on their iPhone videos. That's how you knew the song was good.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right, Erica. Well, I wish you nothing but the best and success along your journey. You're truly a queen in the making, which is why you're on the Kings of Queens podcast. And, I hope you continue to inspire and impact the lives of people through, WNBA, being a medical doctor in that profession, and just being a great daughter and sisters to your sisters as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And so with that, Kings of Queens family, episode 17 in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys tune in to Erica and follow her journey. If you haven't already subscribed to the Kings of Queens podcast, leave a rating, and we'll see you on the next episode. We out.
Bye.
Nike crossbody got a piece in. gotta dance, but it's really on some street. I'ma show you how to get it. It go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Basically, I'm saying either way we bout to slide. Hey, can't let this one slide.